Hello, my friend. Have you ever seen someone who can sing, dance, and make millions of people scream with happiness? Someone who walks on stage and the world stops to watch. Today, I want to tell you the story of that person, the king of pop, Michael Jackson. But this is not just a story of music and fame. It's also a story of hard work, pain, love, and dreams. Michael's life was not perfect. He had many problems and felt lonely many times, but he never stopped following his passion. His journey is full of lessons for us all. So sit back, relax, and listen to the story of a little boy who changed the world with his voice and heart. And hey, if you enjoy this story, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot. Let's start to listen to this amazing story. Michael Joseph Jackson was born on August 29, 1958, in a small town called Gary, in the state of Indiana, USA. His family was big and poor. He was the seventh child out of 10. His father, Joseph Joe Jackson, worked in a steel factory during the day. But in the evening, he played guitar and dreamed of a better life through music. His mother, Catherine, was kind and religious. She loved music and often sang at home. From a very young age, Michael showed a deep love for music. He listened to songs on the radio and danced around the house. His parents noticed that he had something special, a beautiful voice and a natural talent for rhythm and movement. Joe Jackson wanted his sons to become famous musicians. So he created a family band called the Jackson Brothers, which later became the Jackson 5. At first, the group included Michael's older brothers, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, and Marlon. But when Michael was just 5 years old, he joined the group too. Even though he was the youngest, Michael quickly became the star. He could sing with great power and emotion. He also danced like no one else. People were shocked when they saw such talent in such a small boy. Joe Jackson was a very strict father and manager. He made his children practice for hours every day. If they made mistakes, he got angry. Michael later said that he was often scared of his father. But all that practice made the group better and better. They started performing at local clubs and schools. Soon, their talent was impossible to ignore. People loved them. Michael's voice and dance moves were exciting and full of energy. The Jackson 5 began to win talent shows and got attention from big music producers. By the time Michael was just 10 years old, he was already becoming a star. After many small performances, the Jackson 5 finally got a big chance. In 1968, they signed a contract with Motown Records, one of the most famous music companies in the world. Michael was only 10 years old at the time, but he was already the main voice of the group. In 1969, they released their first big song, I Want You Back. The song became an instant hit. It reached #1 on the Billboard music charts. Everyone was talking about the young boy with the powerful voice and exciting dance moves. After that, hit songs came one after another. ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There. Each one became more popular than the last. The Jackson 5 were everywhere, on TV, in magazines, and in the hearts of fans around the world. Michael became the face of the group. People couldn't believe how a child could perform with so much energy, passion, and skill. He smiled brightly, danced like a pro, and sang with deep emotion. His natural charm made millions of people fall in love with him. But behind the bright lights, things were not easy. Michael was just a child, but he had no normal childhood. While other kids were playing outside, he was practicing, performing, or traveling. He didn't go to a regular school. He had tutors on the road. And because he was always busy, he felt lonely much of the time. His father, Joe, kept pushing the group harder. Michael respected him, but he also feared him. Michael later said that he never had time to just be a kid. He wanted to play and have friends, but fame had taken that away. Still, Michael continued to shine. His performances got better and better. He watched other artists like James Brown and Sammy Davis Jr., learning their moves and making them his own. He spent hours in front of the mirror practicing dance steps. He wanted to be perfect, and soon, he was. By the early 1970s, the Jackson 5 were international stars. But as Michael got older, he started to feel something deep inside. He wanted more. He loved his brothers, but he wanted to sing his own songs, tell his own stories, and find his own voice. That dream would soon come true. As Michael grew older, he started to dream of something more. He loved being in the Jackson 5, but deep inside, he wanted to create his own music, music that showed who he truly was. He didn't want to be just the little brother in a group. He wanted to shine on his own. In the late 1970s, Michael began to work on solo projects while still performing with his brothers. He was becoming more confident, more creative, and more serious about his future. In 1979, everything changed. Michael released his first adult solo album called Off the Wall. This album was a huge step for him. It was different from what he had done with his brothers. It was fresh, modern, and full of emotion. Michael helped write some of the songs and worked closely with a famous music producer named Quincy Jones. Off the Wall had many hit songs like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Rock With You She's Out of My Life. The album was a massive success. It sold millions of copies around the world. Michael had finally proven that he was more than just a child star. He was now a serious artist. But even with all this success, Michael wasn't satisfied. He said, Off the Wall was just the beginning. He wanted his next album to be even bigger. He wanted to create music that the world would never forget. He wanted to be the best. At the same time, Michael was changing in other ways. He became more private. He didn't like interviews. He didn't go out much. He spent most of his time writing songs, dancing, and thinking about how to make the perfect show. He was becoming a perfectionist. In public, Michael was quiet and shy. But on stage, he turned into someone else, powerful, magical, and unforgettable. Fans around the world loved him. His dance moves, his style, his soft voice, everything about him was unique. Michael was now getting ready to create something that would break all the rules. Something that would take him from a star to a legend. And in the next part, you'll hear about that album, Thriller, and how it changed music forever. In 1982, Michael Jackson released an album that would change music history forever. Its name was Thriller. At first, some people thought it was just another pop album, but they were wrong. Thriller became the best-selling album of all time. Michael worked again with Quincy Jones to create the perfect mix of pop, rock, funk, and soul. He wanted every song to be special. He practiced his singing, studied dance, and even worked on new sounds and effects in the studio. Michael wanted people to feel something they had never felt before. The album had many unforgettable songs, like Billie Jean, Beat It, Thriller, Wanna Be Startin' Something. Each song was a masterpiece. But Michael didn't stop at music. He also wanted to make music videos that looked like mini movies. When the Thriller video came out, it was like nothing people had ever seen. It had zombies, cool dance moves, and a story. People were amazed. The Billie Jean video introduced the world to a new dance move, the moonwalk. When Michael first did the moonwalk on live TV, people were shocked. How could someone move like that? It was smooth, magical, and iconic. Beat It brought together pop and rock, featuring a guitar solo by rock legend Eddie Van Halen. It showed that Michael could mix different styles of music and make something powerful. Thanks to Thriller, Michael won 8 Grammy Awards in one night. He was now the biggest star on the planet. His face was everywhere, on TV, in magazines, and on walls. Kids copied his clothes. Everyone wanted to dance like him. But all this fame came with pressure. Michael felt lonely again. He wanted people to love him for who he was inside, not just for the glitter and dance. He started changing his appearance. His skin became lighter, and he had surgeries that made his face look different. Some people started asking questions, but Michael didn't talk about it much. He stayed focused on his music and art. He once said, "I'm just a person who wants to be loved and create magic through music." And that's exactly what he was doing. After the huge success of Thriller, Michael became more than just a singer. He was now a global icon. People called him the king of pop. Wherever he went, crowds followed. Fans cried just by seeing him. His concerts were sold out in minutes. Everyone wanted a piece of Michael Jackson. But with great fame came a great cost. Michael was no longer able to live a normal life. He couldn't go outside without bodyguards. He couldn't shop, walk, or relax like other people. The world watched his every move. He became one of the most famous people on earth, but also one of the loneliest. To find peace, Michael built a magical place called Neverland. It was a huge ranch in California with animals, amusement park rides, and beautiful gardens. It was like a dreamland, a place where he could be a child again. Michael said he built Neverland because he never had a real childhood. Now, he wanted to create one. He invited children from around the world to come and play. Sick kids, poor kids, orphans. He wanted them to smile and feel joy. He gave them gifts, played games, and told stories. Michael truly believed in the power of love and kindness. At the same time, Michael continued making music. In 1987, he released Bad. It had hits like Bad, Man in the Mirror, Smooth, Criminal. He broke more records and went on a world tour that millions attended. But the media started focusing less on his music and more on his personal life. They made jokes about his changing appearance. They called him names like Wacko Jacko. These words hurt Michael deeply. He said, "People don't know me. They don't see my heart. They only see what the media shows." Despite the pain, Michael kept going. He used his music to send messages of peace, love, and unity. Songs like Heal the World and Black or White showed that he wanted to bring people together. But the world wouldn't leave him alone. In the next part, we'll talk about the dark times, the rumors, and how Michael faced the toughest challenges of his life. In the early 1990s, Michael was still on top of the world. His music inspired millions. His dance moves amazed fans. But behind the stage lights, a storm was coming. In 1993, something terrible happened. Michael was accused of something very serious, hurting a child. The news spread fast. TV channels, newspapers, and magazines all talked about it. People were shocked. Could the man who sang Heal the World really do something so bad? Michael said again and again he was innocent. He agreed to answer questions, even on national television. He told the world he would never hurt a child. But the damage was done. The media treated him like a criminal, even before there was any proof. Michael became stressed and sick. He couldn't eat or sleep. He even stopped performing for a while. Later, the case was settled out of court, and no one proved he had done anything wrong. But still, many people looked at him differently. Even with all the pain, Michael didn't stop making music. In 1995, he released a new album called History. It was a mix of his old hits and new songs that told his side of the story. He sang about lies, pain, and hope. Some songs were angry, some were healing. It was his way of fighting back with his voice. In the late 1990s, Michael became a father. He had two children, Prince and Paris. Later, he had a third child, Blanket. Michael loved his kids more than anything. He wanted to protect them from the world that had hurt him so many times. But people still watched his every move. In 2002, a video of Michael holding Blanket over a hotel balcony went viral. The media attacked him again, calling him crazy. Michael later apologized and said he just got too excited showing his baby to fans. Then, in 2005, another big case came. Michael was once again accused of hurting a child. This time, he went to court. The trial lasted months. Millions of people watched. It was one of the biggest trials in celebrity history. Finally, after all the stress, the court found him not guilty on all charges. Michael cried. His fans cheered. But the truth was, he was never the same again. His health became weaker. He became more private than ever. He stopped making albums. But inside, he still dreamed of performing again, one last time. And that dream would become the name of his final tour. This is it. In the next part, we'll talk about Michael's final days, his last rehearsal, and the shocking news that shook the entire world. By 2009, Michael Jackson had been away from the spotlight for some time. He missed the stage. He missed the fans. And the fans missed him. So Michael announced something big, his final concert tour called This Is It. He planned to perform 50 shows in London, starting in the summer. He told the world, "This is it. These will be my final performances." Fans went wild. Tickets sold out in minutes. Everyone was ready to see the king of pop shine again. Michael began rehearsing every day. He wanted everything to be perfect. He practiced singing, dancing, and stage moves. The crew said he worked harder than anyone. Even after all these years, his talent was still there. He moved with the same magic. People who saw the rehearsals said he looked happy and excited. They believed he was ready for a powerful comeback. But then, something heartbreaking happened. On June 25, 2009, just weeks before the first concert, Michael Jackson died. He was only 50 years old. The news shocked the entire world. People cried in the streets. Fans held candles and sang his songs. TV stations played his music videos all day. Millions of people were in pain. The cause of death was linked to a powerful medicine he had taken to sleep, given by a doctor. Later, the doctor was found guilty of causing Michael's death. The world had lost a legend. A man who had given his whole life to music, to love, to art, and to his fans. Michael Jackson's funeral was watched by over 1 billion people. Stars, family, and friends spoke about his kindness, his genius, and his heart. His daughter, Paris, said, "Daddy has been the best father you could ever imagine." Michael was gone, but his music would live forever. In the next and final part, we'll talk about his legacy, how the world remembers him, and why Michael Jackson will never be forgotten. Even after his death, Michael Jackson's light did not fade. In fact, it grew stronger. Around the world, people celebrated his life through music, dance, and love. They played his songs, learned his moonwalk, and remembered his powerful message: heal the world, make it a better place. Michael left behind more than just music. He left behind hope. He showed us that no matter how hard life gets, we can rise. We can shine. We can make a difference. Today, Michael is remembered as the king of pop, a musical genius, a dance icon, a symbol of love, unity, and change. His albums like Thriller, Bad, Dangerous, and History are still among the best-selling in the world. New generations continue to discover him. His videos still get millions of views. His name is known in every country, every language. Many artists say Michael inspired them, from Beyoncé and Justin Timberlake to Bruno Mars and The Weeknd. His voice, his style, and his creativity changed music forever. But beyond fame, what made Michael special was his heart. He gave millions of dollars to charity. He visited hospitals. He helped poor children. He dreamed of a better world, and he truly believed in it. Yes, his life was filled with pain, pressure, and misunderstandings. But through it all, he kept giving, kept singing, and kept dancing. He taught us that being different is beautiful, that love is the answer, and that we must never stop dreaming. Michael once said, "If you enter this world knowing you are loved and you leave this world knowing the same, then everything that happens in between can be dealt with." And now, dear learner and listener, this is your moment. Let Michael's story inspire you. Be strong, be kind, be creative, use your voice, share your gift, and never stop believing in yourself. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring stories in simple English. Let's keep learning together. Thank you for staying until the end. You're amazing.